Hey YouTube, good morning. Muchismo Eugene, another video from Exit Strategy. This morning I just want to talk about gratefulness, and I want to start by saying I'm grateful just to be alive, grateful just to have my health and my strength. Those are good starting points to wake up with, and just want to encourage everyone to start your day by reflecting on you. Reflecting on you as a person, reflecting on where you are trying to go today, where you arrived at yesterday as far as your goals and your desires, and looking at the accomplishments that you made and the ones that you didn't make in order going forth to try to accomplish those goals. If they're not feasible to accomplish from the day before or from the past, be realistic with yourself and just understand that all the goals that you set for yourself you may not reach, but if you desire to do it with all that's in you, you have actually done a good job. So don't shortchange yourself about that. These are things that people won't tell you every day. These are things that you're going to have to manage in your own life. Me, I don't have specifically or particularly anyone that I call on as far as a strength in human form. I don't have anyone that I can think of. I'm sure there's someone, if I was to really think about it, there's someone out there that I could rely on. But my bigger point is I don't tend to rely on other people as far as when things get so hard on me mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I don't look for a conduit other than God. And for many years, this has been what I've done in my life. And of course, I don't know if anyone knows that I was born and raised in Alabama, and I was brought up in a Christian church. But I went through phases of seeing things that I believe were real, and I grew to a point where I saw a lot of things that were not real. I saw a lot of hypocrisy. Blatant hypocrisy, when I'm just talking about doing something and then not, falling short on your desire to do something. We're talking about people that have just wallowed in their foolishness, and I am privileged, I believe, and I am grateful to have seen and witnessed the hypocrisy. Because I'm not here to judge the hypocrisy. I'm here to tell you that hypocrisy, that very hypocritical, saying one thing and doing another one, so blatantly in my presence, it showed me that I didn't want to desire to be that kind of person. I wanted to strive to be the best person I could be. And this is, of course, in the matrix way of living. And now, as I'm out of that matrix type of living, I still desire to do the very best I can as an individual, because it's just something within my heart that tells me that that is what makes me most healthy. That is what makes me more at peace, and that's what makes me more happy. And the religion part of church, I don't have any use for it. And the spiritual aspect of God, I have lots of use for it. I'm not here to be prideful and say God doesn't exist. I believe and know He exists in my life. I've seen Him demonstrate His presence in my life. And I just encourage anyone who hasn't experienced it, who are doubtful and haven't had a touch from God, hang in there. Rely on Him. Put your pride to the side. Go to your little corner of your house, in your room, and you speak to Him. And you just wait. You have to wait on Him. When you ask Him to show Himself who He is in your life, and He will. We're not talking about favors or using God like an ATM machine because, we hard up for spiritual cash. We're talking about when we're desperate need of Him in a way that no human being could be there. And narcissistic abuse is one. When you cry out to God, He will hear you. He will hear you in your pleading. He will hear you in your distress. And I guarantee you that He will visit you in your darkest moments. And so, fast forward to 2023, going into 2024, I guess you know my story. I met this girl in a Christian church, or Christian atmosphere, I thought. And here I am today to tell you, man, the very thing that the devil meant for evil, God used for good, as it says in the good book. This is what Joseph said. See, God knew ahead of time that when I went to that church as an invite from her, that would be the very experience I needed to solidify my doubts, my suspicions of the formalized religion. And I think that aided me in not being damaged by this narcissist as much as I would have had I not embraced God's leading, had I not listened to His voice and saying, get out of that place and get out of the church, formalized church altogether, as He did when He damaged and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. He said, get out of there. And I did that, and I'm grateful to the fact that I listened to that voice, that holy voice inside of me, the Holy Spirit. And I think I'm going to be okay going forward. Got a few tasks to do today, and off to physical therapy at about 1 p.m. So just a regular normal day. My youngest, well, not my youngest, one of my twins, his first football game today, and so I'm planning on going to that. And I watched him practice yesterday. I surprised him, and just took the time to go over there and watch him for an hour or so, and he was just happy. He said, Dad, thanks for coming. This kid, if you knew the spirit my son has in him, I actually desire to be as mellow and low-key as this kid. And as I said, they're twins. My daughter, she's like a Spitfire, like me. Well, I'll say the younger version of me. So I'm actually in between his personality and hers, I think. As I'm getting older, I'm really looking into the real meaning of life, you know. It is to go along in life and don't miss the small blessings in life. It ain't the big, huge fireworks. You know, it's the small things that we sometimes overlook. Like they say, take time to smell the roses, right? So, just encouraging you guys today, man, just to look inside of you and find your grounding place before you go out into this world amongst these monsters that are everywhere. And in the meantime, look for decent, genuine people who can sharpen your character just as much as you can sharpen theirs. We all need each other in the world. I don't think there's any of us that can say that we are so self-sufficient. I know I pointed out the fact that I don't rely on any human intervention or conduit that I can just rely on spiritually and a lot of times emotionally. But because most people won't readily know how to give you the answers that you need. And for me, that's been my discovery. So I believe God in prayer and meditation is that go-to. And it's the best thing, because your secrets, your honesty, your genuineness, and your truths that you share spiritually in the meditation, those are things that you can always revisit. They won't be judged against you, and you'll get some really good insight, spiritually speaking. You'll get some direction that you could never get from any other human intervention. So we need each other, in a practical sense, in a way that a lot of us don't even imagine we do. But become more reliant on you as a person as much as you can, and at the same time the spirit within you. Get that spiritual character built up in you, and you'll be able to help someone. And when you're in need of help, guarantee you God will send somebody to your rescue. That being said, bless.